Hello everyone, welcome back. In the previous session, we have seen about the performance of the computer system. So, we will have a quick recap of the topic performance. So, it is nothing but how to increase the performance of a computer system by executing the program in a short duration. Okay. So, it involves many factors like design of the hardware. So there we have seen about the clock cycle, clock rate, and how to increase the clock rate and decrease the clock cycle and number of instructions to be executed by means of changing the IC technologies, so integrated chip technologies. Okay. And about compiler. Okay, so compiler also affects the performance of execution of the program, and few things regarding increasing the performance of a computer system by means of pipelining concepts, superscalar operations, those things we have seen. And today we are moving to another topic, memory locations and addresses, and on more memory operations. Okay. So memory location and addresses. So what it says is, so memory, I think you will be knowing. So here we are speaking about the main memory. Okay. So when a program needs to be executed, that program should be loaded in the memory, and the processor will fetch the content from the memory. Okay. So our information has to be stored in the memory. So here in this section we are going to see how the information is stored in the memory. Then how we will be accessing that stored information. So memory location is nothing but the place where the information gets loaded in the memory, and address, the memory address, in the sense there will be an address to locate that loaded information from the memory. Okay. So memory consists of millions and millions of storage cell, where each storage cell has the capability to store one bit of information. So bit in the sense binary digit. As you all aware that computer is an electronic device, it stores the information in terms of zeros and ones. Okay. So here memory, it is made up of millions of storage cell, where each cell is capable to store only one bit of information. Okay. So one bit is not sufficient in the real world, is it not? It doesn't give any meaning. So one bit in the sense either 0 or 1. So we need the collection of n bits to represent some data. Okay. So data or the information in the computer is usually accessed in terms of groups of bits. Okay. That groups we are saying as the word length. Okay. That groups of bits may vary in size, like n is equal to n may be 8, 16, 32. In terms of powers of 2, the n will be increased. Okay. So here is the concept of how memory, how words are stored inside the memory. Okay. So assume this is of your computer memory, and here this is the place where the word is stored. Okay. So these are the place where our information gets stored in the computer. Okay. So the word length, okay, as I said, word length, word is nothing but group of n bits. Okay. So n, here this is the size of the word, n bits. That n may be 2 byte word, or 2 byte in the sense 16 bits. Okay. So 1 byte is 8 bit. So here word may vary in size, like 16 bits to 64 bits in size. Okay. So here these are the contents of information gets stored in our memory. Okay. And to fetch this content, suppose some information is n bit of word is stored here. So how to access it? So accessing by means of memory address. There will be an address, that address will point to this location, and similarly for each and every word there is a memory address to point out that location to fetch the information. Okay. So this is how the words are arranged in the memory locations. And coming to in detail about how the information is encoded in the memory. For example, if the word length is of 32 bit, okay, so here we are speaking about the content of the memory, okay, inside how the information is stored. So information is stored in terms of bits, ones and zeros, okay. So for 32 bit word length, so the order of information starts from we will be labeling that each and every bit from rightmost to leftmost like this, okay, B0, B1, B2, B3, etc. up to 31. So we won't go 32 because we are starting from B0, okay. So this is the label for each and every bit. So here the total length of the word is 32 bits, okay. So in this memory location, in this memory, we can either store the integer or characters, okay. So integers in the sense the last bit, the most significant bit, this one we will be saying this is the least significant bit and this is the most significant bit. So this most significant bit will represent whether the number stored in this 31 bits or positive number or negative number. So we can store in this memory positive number and negative number. To differentiate the positive and negative number, the last most significant bit will help us to identify. So if the last B31 bit has the value 0, the numbers stored in these cells are positive numbers. If it is 1, then the number stored here is of negative number, okay. So this is about storing the numbers, okay. And next, if you want to store alphanumeric numbers or characters, so characters won't take 32 bit length for ASCII, okay. So ASCII encoding takes 8 bit, okay. Each character will be represented by means of 8 bit. So what happens here, for in a 32 bit we can store 4 characters. So each character will take the 8 bits. So totally 32 bits, okay. So in 32 bit word length, by using the ASCII encoding concept, we can store 4 characters, okay. I hope you understand the why 4 characters we could store in this 32 bit, okay. So please pay close attention to the concepts, otherwise it will be little confusing for you. And regarding the memory address, as I told you, so inside the storage cells you can store the content, and how to retrieve that content, is it not? So there must be some mechanism to retrieve the content stored in the main memory. So that is nothing but the memory address. So to retrieve information, we need an special we need an address, okay. So that address again in terms of zeros and ones, okay. So that address will give the location of the memory to fetch the information, okay. So the address can be either one word length or of an 8 bit, okay. So to retrieve information from memory either for one word or so here it is saying about retrieving the data stored in the memory, that is either of one word or one byte. So here in this example, that one word may be 16 bits or 32 bits, okay. So we could retrieve the entire 32 bits, or we could retrieve one byte. I mean, so in a word, we if the word is of 32 bit in size, we could store 4 characters. Each character is of 8 bit, and we could retrieve one character also, okay. So one character is of 8 bit, that also we could retrieve, or the entire 4 characters also we can retrieve by means of memory address, okay. So for addressing the memory, so it needs it needs some k bit of k bits, okay. So if the memory is of k bit address, then it has the capacity of 2 power k memory locations. Okay, so I'll take a simple example to explain this concept. So what's the 2 power k and k stands for, because it will be little confusing for you. Instead of k, if we have 2, okay, if it is if a memory is of 2-bit address, it means it has the possibility of 4 combinations. So 2 power k, here k is replaced as 2, so 2 power 2 is nothing but 4. Okay, so see here, so 0 0, this is one address, 0 1, this is one address, 1 0 and 1 1. So if we represent this binary number into decimal, so these are the decimal numbers 0 1 2 3. So 2-bit means we have four combinations. Okay, so that's what here it is represented for k bit. So 2-bit means 2 power 2 is 4 memory locations, is it not? So whose locations start since it starts from 0 and ends at 3, so totally 4. So that's what the number 4 here. So 4, so totally 4 locations. So where the first location starts from 0 1 2 3. So that's nothing but 0 minus 2 power k minus 1. That's what here we have the minus 1. So hope you understand why we are having the minus 1. Since it starts from 0, it will be, the upper value will be minus 1. Okay, so 2 power k minus 1. 2 power 2 is 4. 4 minus 1 3. So the location will range from 0 1 2 3. Okay, so these are the memory spaces. Okay, so that is, for simplicity I have took 2-bit number, 2-bit address memory, but in real practical world, the computer ranges of megabytes to gigabytes of locations. So for example, in this example, if we have the computer memory is of 24-bit addressable, so it means you could make the calculation over here. So 2 power 24 is equal to these much of memory spaces are available. And in short, we could represent 2 power 20 as 1 mega. Okay, so 1 m is nothing but it is equivalent of 2 power 20 locations. Okay, so remaining 4. Okay, 2 power 24 minus 2 power 20 is nothing but remaining 4. 24 minus 4 is 4. 2 power 4, so 2 power 4 is 16. So 16 mega memory space are available. Similarly, for 32-bit we have 4G. Okay, 4G in the sense 2 power 30. 2 power 30 is 1 giga. Okay, 1 giga. Remaining 32 minus 30 is 2. So 2 power 2 is 4. So that's what 4 giga locations are available. And in generally, so you will be aware that 1 kilobyte or 1 kilo is nothing but, so here we are speaking in terms of bytes. Okay, so 1 kilo in computer memory stands for 2 power 10. Okay, so 10 bit. So 10 bit we need to represent 2 power 20 memory space. 2 power 10. 2 power 10 is equal to 1024 memory locations. You just do the calculation little bit. So that's what I said earlier. Please be little focused. So here some calculations are involved about binary numbers. And here 1T. So 1T represents tera. Tera is nothing but 2 power 40. So 2 power 40, suppose if we have 2 power 41 bits, then that is equal to 2 tera. 2 tera locations. Okay, since 2 power 40 is tera and 41 means 1. So 2 power 1 is 2. So 2T. So we will be representing as 2T. Okay, this is about memory address. And so here, so how to address the word in the memory. Okay, so by means of byte addressability. So here, so it is difficult to assign address for each and every bit stored in the memory. So we will be representing n number of bits as a word, is it not? So the most practical way to address the word is by means of byte addressable memory. So byte means it's nothing but 8 bit. So 8 bit is 1 byte. Okay, so we could represent we could retrieve the information by means of byte addressable memory. It means 8 bit. Okay, so byte in the sense it is of 8 bit. So byte locations have address 0, 1, 2, 3. Likewise, we have seen earlier. If suppose if you assume if word length is 32 bits, as I said, word length may vary from 16 bits to 32 bits to 64 bits depending upon the computer configuration. Suppose if you assume word length is 32 bit, it means what? If we are able to store the character, means we could store 4 characters in ASCII format. Okay, if that characters are represented in ASCII coding, ASCII takes 8 bits to represent one character. So for 32 bit we could have 4 characters, and each and every character will be identified by one address. Okay, so that's what it is saying. So here 0th address will represent to first 8 bit of this this character, and the address byte address 1 will represent the second 8 bit. Okay, 2 will represent the third 8 bit, and the 3 byte address 3 will represent the fourth bit. And the next, this is what for a complete word. So for a complete word we need 4 byte address. Okay, so since we are able to store 4 words, each is of bytes, each is of 1 byte, we need 4 byte address. This is for one complete word. Okay, and for the next word its address starts from 4 onwards. Okay, so because for this for storing this word length of 32 bits, we need the byte address locations as 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and next word will start the byte address location from 4, and if since that word is of 4 characters, I mean 32 bits, that again need 4 more bytes. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7 byte address, and the third word will start from byte address 8. Okay, so likewise it goes on under the concept of byte addressability. If we refer each and every word by means of byte address. Okay, and there are 2 ways to represent the byte address. Okay, so far we have seen byte addressability, and there are 2 ways of assigning the byte address for the word. Okay, so that is by means of big Endian and little Endian. So this is the diagram for assigning the big Endian byte address, and this is for the little Endian assignment. Okay, so here in this example it takes the word is of 32 bit size. Okay, so here word length is of 32 bit. So under big Endian concept, how the words are arranged means, so it starts from lower byte address are used as the most significant bytes of the word. So lower address means 0, 1, 2, 3. So there needs a 4 byte address to represent a 32 bit word, is it not? So if the first byte address 0, if 0 is used for the most significant byte of the word, so that means the first word. Okay, so a word has 4 characters. Okay, first character takes 8 bit, the second character takes 1 more 8 bit, the third character takes 1 more 8 bit, and the finally 32 bits. So this character first character in a word will have the address as byte address as 0, then byte address for the second word as 1, byte address for the third word as 2, byte address for the fourth word as 3. So in this manner it is arranged. Okay, first first character by means of byte address 0, followed by 1, 2, 3. So that's the diagram here it shows. Okay, so don't confuse this as the memory. So it shows about the assignment of byte address to the word. Okay, so this is the these are all address. Okay, so first here outside this cell, here we are representing the word address. So word means the first word address will be in the memory location 0. then we could automatically increment to get the second word, second character of the first word, and third character of the first word likewise, and of course the next word, okay, next word will be stored in the byte address 4. Okay, so it since it has 4 byte, whose address locations, will be 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so likewise it keeps on going for word is of 2 power k and -4. Okay, so this is the big Indian format, and the reverse is nothing but the little Indian format. The reverse of big Indian is little Indian. So in little Indian, so lower byte address is used to represent the least significant byte of the word. So this is the least significant byte of the word, and this is the most significant. So little Indian is opposite of the big Indian. So in these two ways we could assign the words. Okay, so little Indian method and big Indian assignment methods are there to assign the byte address for the words. Okay, so this is the first set of word, and this is this second set. So second word will start the byte address from 4 onwards, and the third word will have the byte address as 8. Okay, then 12, 16, likewise it goes if the word is of 32 bit. Okay, so only then this configuration will be applied. I hope you have to pay more attention to these concepts, otherwise it will be little confusing for you since you are new to these concepts. So I am again requesting you to pay more attention to this concept. And as I said previously, for word is of 32 bit. So this example here, word alignment, it says what happens if the word is of 16 bit. We have seen 32 bit word whose byte address will be like first word byte address will start from 0, second word's byte address will start from 4, 8, 12, likewise it goes on. Similarly, what happens if a computer is configured to have the word of 16 bit size or 64 bit size? So this arrangement will be definitely changed. For 16 bit word, it means only 2 characters are allowed in the 16 bit word. Okay, so the first word will have the byte address 0, and the second not first word, in a word we have 2 characters. Okay, so each character is of 8 bit in size. So first character in a word will be given the byte address 0, and the second character in a word will be given the byte address 1. Okay, and this 2 represents the second word. Okay, second word whose word size is of 16 bit length or 2 byte, we could say. 16 bit is nothing but 2 byte. Similarly, the arrangement gets deferred for 64 bit word. Okay, so this is how the word alignment varies. Okay, by having the word size of variable size 16 bit, 32 bit, 64 bit configurations by the computer systems. Okay, and accessing the numbers, you could, as I said, you could store in the memory words, alphanumeric characters and numbers. Okay, so if you are storing the number in the memory cell, means you can access it by means of word address. So even it is possible to access the individual characters in a word. Okay, so by means of byte address is enough, no need of word address. So word address means, so it completely so in this 16 bit word, so word address is nothing but so its starting address will be 0, and it should read the first byte address also to get the 2 characters of word. So what happens among the 2 words, if I want to access only one word, means it is possible to it is enough to have byte address. Okay, so that individual, for example, I want to store the character stored in the byte address 1, means so that address alone is enough. I don't want that first character address. Okay, so I am repeating, please pay more attention, otherwise it will be little confusing for you. We could fetch the information stored in the memory by means of word address or byte address. And of course, if the character strings are of variable length, variable length means that all variable length means it varies, the character size varies. Okay, character size may be it depends on the encoding. Okay, the what encoding type we are using it. So if the information stored is of variable length, that also could be that also we can retrieve it. So by indicating one more extra information as end of the string, where that variable length character is stopping in the memory, so then only that entire character we could retrieve it. So in some by using a different mechanism, we have to mention the end of the string by storing that end of the string location in processor register or some other manner, we could achieve it. Okay, and coming to the last slide of this presentation, memory operations. So memory operations is only two operations, read and write. So what for we are using the memory? So we are using the memory to store to put the information into the memory or to write the to write the information, put in the sense to write the information or to get the information. So reading the information we could say as load or fetch. So different terms are used, you please be familiar with these terms. Load, read, fetch, all are same. Okay, so these are nothing but we are going to retrieve the content from the memory. Okay, so retrieve in the sense only we are copying it and storing it in the processor register, where the information in that memory location won't be changed, is it not? We are taking that we are taking the copy of that information and placing it in the processor register for processing, is it not? So to take the information from the memory we need the address. Okay, so the load operation uses the address to locate the where that word is stored. Okay, and that copied content can be stored in the register. Similarly for write, so for write we need the address and data, what information we are going to write it into the memory and in which location we are going to write that data. Okay, so we need for storing or write operation we need two informations, address and data. So here in this address, if there is some other content already present in the main memory, means that will be overwritten. Okay, because we are going to put the data into the memory. Okay, so our data will be present in the register, that content will be written into the memory using the store operations. Okay, this is quite simple memory operations, and that's it about today's topic, memory locations and addresses, and of course memory operations. Okay, so please go through it again and again, since it is a new topic and it involves little calculations. You have to pay more attention, so then only it will be easier for you to follow the forthcoming sessions. Okay, and we will make a quick summary of this topic, memory locations and addresses. Okay, so here we have seen about how the information is stored into the memory in terms of bits, and by using the ASCII encoding encoding. So we have seen how the word is stored, and also how to address the memory of various variable size of bits. Okay, if memory is of 22 bit, it is of 24 bit, I mean, so 2 power 24 is equal to this much of memory spaces will be available. And we have seen about different memory space like kilo, tera, giga, mega, and byte addressability by two ways, big Indian method and little Indian method, followed by word alignment by varying if the word is of variable size like 16 bit, 32 bit and 64 bit, followed by memory operations. Okay, so that's it about today's topic, and I will meet you in the next session.